Okay, this is Ringwalk Media in association with Red Lion Specialist Cars, Highland Whiskey Clan and MJ Catterall. Mr. Dev Sahni. Well, you've had a nice quiet afternoon, haven't you? Press conference here at the Co-op Live and tables flying everywhere. What's going on?
It's good that, wasn't it? I mean, I've not had a table go at a press conference before. I've not had that happen to me yet, as much as I've tried to stir it. And I'm so glad it happened. I'm so glad it's happened ahead of a big show, launch on DAZN, and it's good fun, isn't it? It's why we're here. It's why we do these presses. No one wants to hear about how good their camp's been and if they've changed their team. And, no, we want a bit of drama. We want a bit of entertainment, a little bit of, do you want to go now? Let's go now. Yeah. Love that. And we got it today.
Well, I'll tell you what, it would have been nice to have had the face-off as well. That would have been tasty.
I'm not sure where Jamie TKV is. I've not seen him since he flipped the table and he sort of got escorted off the stage. I've seen Adelaide knocking about, but not seen Jamie TKV. But hopefully they get to face off at the weigh-in tomorrow with a lot of security,
could be quiet,
reinforced stage, and looking forward to it. What a fight.
Well, British title fights are notoriously some of the best fights we ever see, and this is destined to be a good one now, isn't it? It was anyway, but this is going to be even better.
Yeah, and it's exactly that. And I mentioned there at the press conference some of the fighters that have won the British heavyweight title over the years. Your light's gone.
It has, but don't matter. We can still see you. You look good.
Okay, all right, that's good to know. I mean, the heavyweights that have held that belt over the years, Tyson Fury, AJ, Joe Joyce was stuck up there, Henry Cooper, Lennox Lewis, all these guys. And now these gentlemen, David Adelaide, TKV, get the chance to add that belt to their resume. It's big. I enjoyed with the presser how they were going back and forth for ages. And the good thing is I didn't have ears today, so I didn't have a producer in my ear, because I feel like if I did, they may have told me to stop.
Yeah.
But I'm glad I just let it go, because then we got the table.
So basically it's your fault.
It's my fault. I'll take full credit. But no, it was good. And of course, don't forget the main event, Joe Joyce Ergovich.
Well, I mean, that's going to be great. I want to talk about that in a second. But Jack Rafferty, Corey O'Regan. Corey's stepping up a weight, but he's unbeaten. He knows what he's about. They know each other from sparring. Jack's on an absolute roll. Is Jack just going to be that bit too much for Corey, do you think?
Look, Jack Rafferty is going to be a very difficult man to beat. Not just for what he is in the ring. You know, he's a monster right now, and he's knocked out his last 5 in a row, unbeaten in 24, 25 fights. So he's very, very good. But there's also a mentality where he's been through so much. Yeah. He's boxed on the small halls for so long. He's had to pay his opponent's purses. There was one occasion where he paid his opponent's purse using the inheritance that he got from his mother that had sadly passed away. That's incredible. The fortitude that you'd have to build up as an individual to have that. It's just going to take an awful lot to stop him going from where he's going to go. So, but Corey O'Regan, I'm sure, listen, he'll have his own story, and it's also a hard luck story. He's beaten loads of guys in the amateurs and hasn't had his chance yet. And he's been watching all these guys, like Sam Noakes, go on and achieve massive, massive things. And he's thinking, when am I going to get my turn? Well, his turn may be on Saturday, so I can't wait.
It'd be a good fight. And of course, like you said, Joe Joyce now got a different opponent, Hergovich, more dangerous than perhaps the fight he had. Yeah,
I mean, that's what's being said, isn't it? And that's what I said at the presser, that many in boxing are feeling that that's the case. I guess we find out, because this is Hergovich coming off, he's not had a full training camp, but he's fit enough to take the fight, he feels. And it's going to be interesting, because if Joe Joyce just absorbs his best shots and is still there around 7, 8, 9, 10, coming forward, it could get very difficult in there for Filip Hrgović. On the flip side, Filip Hrgović is a very accurate puncher, and he could land.
And he's strong.
He could land at will against Joe Joyce early. So I'm very interested.
I mean, the heavyweights here, it's going to be a brilliant show. And talking to lots of shows, brilliant shows that Frank's putting on at the moment. One coming up in May, Cacace versus Lee Woods. Now, I'm lucky enough to have seen both camps a little bit. This is going to be one hell of a fight, I think, when we get there. What's your views on this fight coming up?
I think it's just going to be an absolute war. I feel like they're going to try and box for a bit, but they're both so proud, and they both know how much this means. Both like similar kind of characters, been through their hardships. Both at a similar stage in their career as well, around the same kind of age. And I just think it's going to turn into an almighty tear-up. And I can't wait to go to Nottingham for it. It's such a good fight.
And it's going to be, like you say, it's in Nottingham, the motor point there. It's going to be a brilliant, I think 10,000 sellout over there. I mean, what's the undercard going to be like on that?
We've got Ezra Taylor in there in a brilliant Troy Jones. That's a step-up fight. And I've been speaking to a lot of people who know Troy certainly better than I do, and they really fancy it. They think Ezra Taylor's made a huge mistake taking this fight.
It is a big gamble.
So you're another one who's saying it, and I haven't seen much of Troy. I've seen plenty of Ezra. I know how good Ezra Taylor is, but yeah, a lot of people are saying this is a big step up. I'm going to research it a little bit more, because we were kind of talking about Ezra Taylor against Louis Edmondson. He's got to come through his fight first, but it sounds like his fight first could be a really difficult fight.
Troy Jones beat Leon Williams for the English title, and I was at that fight, and Leon Williams was hotly tipped to take that very easy, and he destroyed him.
Yeah.
So, you know, obviously Leon didn't have the best of nights, but Troy Short, he's not easy. Ezra's got to be careful.
He's got to be careful, but he is the cannon, and he's doing things like taking himself to the States and training in LA. He's got Malik Scott training him and stuff like that. I like the moves that he's making to try and make it.
And then, of course, Aloys the Animal going up to Glasgow to box on the card up there. I mean, Aloys is really coming through now, isn't he? Shining and show. He's always been very confident, but he's now really backing up what he's been saying for a while.
He is must watch. You can't go to the loo. Well, you certainly can't change the channel. You just can't mess about when Aloys Junior is in the ring, because he's just so powerful and so good. He's so watchable because he's got those reflexes, and with those reflexes he's just got tremendous power. He is, quite frankly, one of my favourite fighters to watch right now. He's unbelievable, and you look back at the story of how he took that debut and such short notice, but gave it all he could against this crazy Polish fella who was a prospect himself. He was a very heavy-handed guy, and I'm a fan. I'm a fan of Aloys Junior. I like his mentality, and he's in a serious fight. He's in a step-up fight against Jameson. Yeah. But if he comes through, I feel like we've got one of the future stars of British boxing right here in the Queensberry stable. Couldn't agree more. Yeah.
Now listen, as always, I know you're a fence sitter, but I'm going to ask you anyway. Main event, Joe Joyce, Hrgovic. What's your prediction?
I can see the argument for both sides, to be honest.
Here we go.
Here's what I think. I think either Hrgovic is going to land at will early in the fight and find a way to stop Joe Joyce, or Hrgovic is going to find that he can't hurt Joe Joyce. And he's not a huge puncher himself, Hrgovic. Of course, everyone can bang at heavyweight. But Hrgovic might be in a situation where he can't hurt Joe. And suddenly it gets later in the fight, and Joe Joyce is still there, and he's still coming forward, and then he's hitting you, and then it starts really hurting. It could be one of those where Joe Joyce stops Filip Hrgovic. I don't know, to be honest, but that's why we tune in, mate.
Well, listen, got to tune in on DAZN now.
Correct.
Looking forward to working with DAZN and seeing them on the big platform, of course, with Queensberry.
Absolutely.
We can't wait to be here on Saturday night. And Dev, as always, we appreciate your time and your input.
No worries. See you then.
Thank you, mate.